baby. Fancy schmancy stuff here, Josh. We got intros fading into thingy things, and this is great. This is great. Welcome, everybody, to another episode, a shorter episode of the Wrestling 40 Minutes. This is Dave Sturchio alongside Josh Shernoff right here on, of course, adfreeshows.com, first and foremost. And, of course, we will get to the MyFandom YouTube channel right after that in about a day. Like I said before, Dave Sturchio, Josh Shernoff. Josh, how we doing?
Man, I'm noticing it's quite a mess behind me because we've been kind of moving things around. See, I'm looking over my shoulder, but only because I got my back. Wow. And yeah, that's an old school buddy that was made of me, which is pretty cool. It's I wouldn't say a one of one, but they went out of business, so I only have one of myself.
Did anybody? There's only one of one. Never mind.
Yes. No, It's not a one-on-one. No, I was going to say, no, people did purchase it, and they were actually awesome about it. This is during the pandemic, and they would send the buddies to my house unstuffed, and I would sign them, and for the people who wanted them signed, and send them back, and then they would stuff them and send them out to whoever bought them. So it was once upon a time when I worked with Blue Meanie, I was...
No, it sounds terrible. It's popular. Like, yeah. They sent me the doll, and then it was unstuffed, and then I stuffed it and put my. It's like, oh my god. Anywho,
well, they had to pay extra for that.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's really Josh with Josh's DNA, ladies and gentlemen. That's all right. So that's how we're gonna start.
Yeah.
I hope
total nonstop action.
Yes.
What? Listen.
Wrong.
We are hopefully recording.
Yeah, no, of course we're recording. Everything's fine, Josh.
It doesn't look like it's recording on my. So, okay, full disclosure here. We're using a new platform here, and a new software. And the way that it's set up right now, Dave, for one night only, is producing this episode. I am hands off. I'm not touching the intro. I'm not touching the outro. I got no idea what's going on here. So
this show may not even see the light of day. We don't know. We don't know. Yeah, but if we do, thanks for watching so far. Thanks for hanging with us on adfreeshows.com.
It wouldn't be the first show that we've done that never sees the light of day, because we did one yesterday, but that wasn't supposed to see the light of day.
Yesterday. What's yesterday? 2 days ago. You're killing me with these days, man. Yeah.
Dude,
so
I don't know what's going on.
Hey, let's let the cat out of the bag. Let the fans know.
It's June 15th.
A second way to consume the tag team of Dave Sturchio and Josh Shernoff will be coming to you via Triller TV for Triller TV Talk, a 4-part pilot series that we're very excited about. It will be covering everything you could see on Triller Plus, and again, Triller TV Plus.
So if you guys don't watch it, we're out of a job. So
yeah, basically. So what we're gonna need you to do is go download the app ski and sign up for Triller TV. But look, that's not an ad. It's not an ad.
It's not an ad. It's just two friends telling.
I'm distributing information. But yeah, so a brand new pilot. We're very excited about it. You can find us there. We will be airing those episodes on Tuesdays, starting next Tuesday. So it's not an April Fool's joke. It is an actual episode of Triller TV Talk with Josh Shernoff and Dave Sturchio. And of course, you're watching the Wrestling Hour. Now, we also discussed prior to this that this can't be the exit, the go home show, right? So we're gonna continue to evolve this thing, cover us a little bit, cover WrestleMania season, because obviously WrestleMania
by continue to evolve, we are only going to cover Evolve results.
Exactly. That's it.
That's all we're doing.
So
we are going to cover. I think we're going to take this through WrestleMania season. I think that's. I think it would be. It would be that
executive decision, huh? I like it.
Yeah. No, I just think we should because, like, okay, there are a lot of shows. I'm a big fan of The Daily Show with Jon Stewart, and I'm sure the other people do a great job too. But I only watch Jon Stewart. Wow. Wow, did you just out yourself as not understanding comedy? But big fan of the show. What I can't stand is when that one, John Oliver does a great job as well in his, and they're all political satire comedy, right? But when they take off and then like huge things happen in the world.
I missed it. Yeah.
And you're just like, I need this. I need it. So that's like for us to take off right before WrestleMania. Like,
Yeah,
no,
no, that would be
we got to talk about stuff.
super
man.
silly, super silly. Listen, we've been working with some fantastic people over at Triller TV, and we've also been working with people over at React 2, which is the new platform that we're using, and they're from across the pond. You know what else is across the pond? Monday Night Raw for the last 3 weeks. Let me tell you, how do you feel?
Great transition.
You like that? How do you feel about the idea of a Monday afternoon Raw instead of Monday Night Raw? Are you liking it? Are you enjoying it? I know the kids are probably enjoying it because it's early, but like, are we accustomed to this now? Because we're doing it again next week.
It was like a 20-minute conversation for my kids to like grasp, where I'm just like, no, we can watch Raw. They're like, well, we can't watch it tonight. And I'm like, no, we can watch it tonight because it's recording while you're, when you're coming home from school. And I love it, honestly, because
I think all parents love it, right? Honestly,
I think so. And anytime, and this is the world that we're kind of in now with streaming in general, with a lot of shows and stuff, when they'll drop all, an entire season, and you're just like, you know what? I can just watch when I want to watch, right? I don't have to say, and that's kind of where we're at. So I feel as a society,
we're starting to fade back into the one episode a week release, and I'm like, I got way too spoiled. I'm like, dude, no. Like,
have you seen The Pit?
The Pit,
yeah,
no.
Noah Wiley,
no.
Okay, really good show. You love a good man cry, so there's an episode as a father that will rip your freaking heart out.
I started watching Adolescence. I don't know if that was a good idea, but
I haven't seen that now.
It's intense.
Geez.
Anyway,
so but my point is, The Pit drops every Thursday on I want to say Max, right? There's your tie into wrestling, AEW. But and it annoys me now because
I know
when the episode's over, I'm like, no. We're here to binge.
Right. Yeah.
We're here to binge. I want to watch another one. So yeah, I don't know. But I love that Raw has been earlier. It's been fun. But I also love the fact that the days of it being spoiled because it recorded earlier in the day, and now it's like, because when they would go across the pond to record an episode of Raw, I was like, all right, well, this is one I don't really need, because if anything important happens, I will have already heard about it. So do I really need to watch it?
Mm-hmm.
So now they can do important things. Speaking of SmackDown, I know that one obviously still airs when it airs here.
But Twitter ruins it.
Right. And I saw a bunch of people on Twitter were just like, this is a terrible episode. This episode's horrible. This is the worst episode ever. Man, they're really dropping the ball. Then I watched it and I was like, this is a solid episode of SmackDown. This was a solid 4 weeks out from Mania episode.
Yeah, you know how it is. And look, I've discussed this. I've discussed this on the Fight Factory Wrestling podcast as well. And I say this
good show
to protect the stars, right, from overexposure heading into hype season of WrestleMania. You're going to get a lot of 6-man tags, tag team matches. You're going to get a lot of coasting out of the stars because you don't want them to get hurt, right? You don't want them to be too banged up on the biggest night of their life.
Yeah.
So the episodes, you're going to hope for quality promos. You're going to hope for quality video packages. You're going to hope for all that. If you're looking for high-flying, hardcore action and all that crap, you're not going to get it in WrestleMania season. I'm sorry. Like, you just won't. And it's not a diss on Triple H's booking or whoever's, part of creative. It is like, let's tell the story in the simplest form without getting anybody hurt. And that's the truth.
Other thing that I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I've cut you off a lot today. I'm wired and tired. It's a combination. You got some crap on your mug there.
Opening day this Thursday, baby. Let's go.
The Yankees. Listen to me talking from Philadelphia, the Phillies. Oh yeah, the Phillies fighting Phillies. They're gonna lose.
You can puff your chest out about the football for a little while, but that's about it.
I know, dude. How about Philly booing the Sixers players? And I was there for that, and all of a sudden I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, why are they booing? And I look on the screen, and I'm like, oh, it's the Sixers. Yeah, it's like and that is why I love Philly fans. because you've got your you've got your Dallas fans.
New York is very similar.
I know, but I'm saying you got like Dallas where, okay. And to be fair, I've seen your Twitter people go in on Dallas and are negative about it. But I just feel like with Philly, we're like, listen, man, if we suck, we're going to tell you we suck, and then we're going to tell the team that they suck.
Mm-hmm.
So, I appreciate Philly.
I don't.
Anyway.
But anyway.
Are we recording yet?
Back in.
So
all right. So my point was we're coasting into WrestleMania. You're talking about SmackDown episodes being a little laissez-faire according to the fans and the that community, the internet wrestling community.
And you're making a great point about the about how they're taking care of them, whatever. We've still gotten, SmackDown, let's say you didn't like all the 6-mans and you didn't like, the Zelina Vega thing because nobody did, but it was silent to the point where I feel like it was an audio issue. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I think there may have been an audio issue.
No, it just stinks.
I really think they may have, because it was pin drop silent, and that's too quiet. But
no, they're all captivated, Josh. They're all just like the edge of their seats.
They just couldn't. My God, it's Zelina Vega. We've never seen her like this before, stripped of any personality or character development. But think about things like this, right? Like, we still got an awesome promo with Punk talking about everything that happened there with Roman and Paul Heyman, and that was cool.
Absolutely.
Think back to the beloved Attitude Era, okay? And if I say to you, the beer truck, right? You know exactly what I'm talking about. You can picture that segment like it was yesterday.
Absolutely.
Stone Cold up on the truck, and then he jumps in. They have the Winged Eagle on display for some odd reason, because it had been about 2 years since there'd been a Winged Eagle. But regardless, apparently that's just WWF back in the day. But remember that person threw in.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, you know,
time out. Now I'm like, like you said, like, I can remember it like the back of my hand. Why don't I remember that? It's like, is it a Mandela
Remember
effect?
they had on display, they were going to, because the championship had been, this before they used fancy words like abeyance. But the championship, I guess they were going to present it to The Rock or whatever it was. And I guess, and even
were
Bruce
they about
Pritchard
to make a
had
switchback?
No. They legit just, someone, I guess, screwed up and just grabbed the wrong belt and put it in. Perfect. To me, I remember as a kid, I'm 14 at the time, and I'm infuriated by this. I'm are you kidding? That's not the right belt. What's wrong with you? And we'll talk about belts in a second.
Belts hold your pants up.
Yeah, but but my long-winded point of what I'm trying to make here is that you remember that segment.
Sure.
What else happened on that Raw?
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
No.
I have zero idea. Pick any
Sable, Mark Mero.
You have to imagine, right?
I don't know. I don't remember.
But who knows? Who knows? And that's my point, is WWE is now and has always been about moments, about creating moments. You go even further back. Do you remember the episode where Randy Savage, this was pre-Raw, Randy Savage gets bit by the Cobra, right?
Oh, yeah.
That episode of whatever that, right? What else happened on that show? I don't know. That's my point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Undertaker locks Ultimate Warrior in the casket, and he's clawing at it. What else happened on that show? So people need to understand that is and always has been pro wrestling. We're creating moments, and we're also filling time with other things that are hopefully entertaining enough in the moment. But nobody looked at this and said any of those matches. No one was like, hey, even if this match is great, no one's going to remember. It doesn't matter. Every once in a while you sneak through and you go, holy crap, that was insane. Did anyone think Shawn Michaels and Shelton Benjamin was going to be something that people remembered forever? They remember it because that insane finish with the super kick off the springboard, right? But that's it. Do you even remember why they had the match? Do you even remember what went into it? So it's all about moments. And that's my feeling, is stop whining and complaining about the show itself. If you go into something saying this is going to suck, it's going to suck,
right?
And I don't know what these people are expecting to come of this stuff, but championship belts. Let's talk about those for a second, because John Cena.
Ooh.
Oh man, what a wrinkle in the story. Dave, what did you think about that, with John Cena making his plans known of exactly what he's going to do?
He is, and I believe I said this on this show, he is B Rabbit. He is Eminem in 8 Mile. He is calling all the things that we all want to talk to him about. He's spitting at us before we're able to give him a piece of our mind. Besides the F you Cena and shut the F up chance and all this other shit, which, by the way, I can't get enough of that. I just wish Netflix would just let them all play. You know, it's like, it's Netflix, guys. Like, we get it.
And when I'm watching with my kids, there's nothing like a good fuck this and fuck that. It's just love it.
Love it. Anyway, ain't for everybody. But no, with Cena calling his shot, basically saying, hey, like, it's interesting the verbiage that he used in that promo, right? And again, what else happened on Raw? Who gives a shit, right? Like, that promo between John Cena and Cody, now 2 weeks in a row, has absolutely delivered. It's left us so mad, because, like, when Cena drops the mic both weeks in a row now and leaves and says nothing else, I'm like, come on.
He like won't engage.
I need more, bro. Like, and
yeah, he won't
like,
engage with Cody.
Yeah, he's like, you want more? Tough shit. I'm out. Right. And he leaves. And it's like, that is the heat that he's getting it all. Right. But his verbiage and his words and his select, I'm going to like just basically kill pro wrestling or whatever he goes, like, and he's like, he's going to ruin it. He's going to ruin everything. I'm going to spit. The spinner belt might make a comeback. Like, dude, it is all things that we've made fun of him over the last 25 years of his career. And we're sitting there like, holy shit, he's going to do all of this. And Josh, gun to my head right now as we record this on March 26, 2025.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I went back.
And you talked to me about dates earlier.
Yeah, I know. I literally looked down at my computer to make sure that I'm reading the date right, and I still screwed
March 26, 2015, in the year of our Lord.
But no, on this day, I see clearly. But always. But John Cena's not losing. He's not losing. He is going to do. He is calling his shot, and he is going to win at WrestleMania. That's my gut right now. Things can change. Obviously, we all have opinions, and things can develop and whatever. There's interesting twists I want to ask you about later, but this promo in particular, calling his shot, telling the world what he's going to do, basically just completely obliterating half the fan base. He's just heel Cena right now is angry. Get it all out, Cena. Like, this is everything he's wanted to say for 25 years. It's all coming out.
But to me, I love the idea. First of all, it's not like you're going to go, oh man, they cut, Cody out at the knees. The dude will have held the title for over a year. He will have held it from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. Like, that's a run.
That's a run.
That's a crazy run. That's awesome. So that's great. I agree with you. And I hope they do this. I would love to see, because this is how you really make Cody, right? Cena wins. Cena's now the champion. Cena's contractually obligated to wrestle for the rest of this year, right? And then he's going to retire. And he says he's going to retire. He's going to be the last world champion, the last real world champion, because if he retires with it, they put it in a tournament. Whoever wins it never beat John Cena for it, right? And then let Cody chase for the remainder of the year, and let other people let other people chase as well. Let other people do that. And when it's all said and done, the final thing, I would turn it a little bit where it now becomes John Cena talking more about, less angry towards everyone, talking about how he has to have this. This is his legacy. This is that, right? Like, in all, he's put everything into this, and all. What I'm saying is, you've got that opportunity when it's all said and done to kind of have that same where you had, is Punk going to actually win and leave with the title, type deal. And maybe this doesn't go all the way to December, but I'd have it all the way to December. And finally, maybe Cody has to get through a bunch. Maybe he has that rematch and gets screwed. And now he has to go through to earn his place back. We keep thinking other people somewhere in there. Orton pops in to try and, Orton's the one who's going to take the title off him. Doesn't happen. And in the end, John Cena, where it is established, if John Cena wins this match, if Cody Rhodes cannot take the title off of John Cena, this is it. This is John Cena's last match. John Cena is retiring at the end of this. Will he retire as champion, as he predicted? And that is when Cody finally beats him, saves professional wrestling, and Cody is your champion. And then we get the legitimate tears in the eyes, John Cena shaking hands, hugging Cody Rhodes. Cody earned this. All of this was to get you to that next level, to see, do you really have it? Because because if John Cena can explain at the end, everything I did, all of this, I needed to leave the WWE in good hands. For me, for my own ego, I needed to know that whoever was going to take my place wasn't just the next shiny thing. Whoever was going to take my place needed to really be able to carry this juggernaut. And you earned it, and you are now.
I mean,
WWE,
Josh, not for nothing.
A message over at Sosa Shernoff.
Three people have sent me over the last couple days. 3 people have sent me the posting by WWE.com that they are searching for writers. Josh, throw your hat in that ring. Like, dude, that right there is a story. I love it. I don't know or think that they can drag it all year with a Cody chase. I do think maybe you get a rematch at
Cody
SummerSlam.
Has to disappear for a while, and then you've got Orton. Maybe SummerSlam.
No, I get all that.
Cena and Orton, right? Yeah.
I get all that. I just see a moment in my mind, and I don't know why, but like I see Cena winning at Mania, right? The Monday after, getting the loudest boos of all time. Spinner belt, welcome back, right? I know it sounds like, I sound like one of the marks on the internet, but it's like, I really do think he brings back the spinner belt. But eventually, what I'm thinking is SummerSlam. I said it like Shawn Michaels at the Triple H promo. I'm thinking SummerSlam. SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
You got it. Anyway,
no. I believe it's pronounced the SummerSlam.
The SummerSlam.
By Bret Hart.
I think that we get a moment where Cody wins it back at SummerSlam, and we get a sledgehammer to the spinner belt, like a legitimate crush this piece of shit title, bring me back my winged eagle, maybe, right? The good one, or just get me back the championship belt and come back and make that a second run. But then now Cena's pissed off. He ain't chasing the title anymore. Now it's about those little tiny matches that, what do we get, right? We're going to get the Orton feud. We'll get something else here. We'll get something else. And then at the end of the year, December's not really known for their their pay-per-view, right? I mean, like, think about it. Like,
if they build a pay-per-view around John Cena.
Yeah, I was going to say, because right now you think it's Survivor Series, and then you head into
the last time is now, or some
Armageddon is back.
Yes.
Like,
Seriously.
Yeah. So that's what I think happens. I think it does happen at Mania. There's a title switch where people are just like, what? No way did he break that. And not for nothing. There's another little hidden element to his promo. The jab at Ric Flair. The little tiny nuanced jab at Ric Flair about the championship and how he's going to beat that record. And then you're just going to always remember the name John Cena. These are things that, like, how, like, just like, for instance, your little rant, or not rant, just your storytelling from now until the end of the year was very good. And I'm just like, whoa, that's great. It's one of those, it's too cool. It'll never happen. Right. So, like, I think, all this to say that we're all saying, like, Cena's really calling a shot, and you're like, nah, well, that's not going to happen. It will. And that's why I think it's like one of those things where he calls his shot the entire time. Like, you have like a couple more promos before WrestleMania, and everybody's like, yeah, I know it's always been about Cena walking off, and he's pissed off, and he's dropping bombs and this, that, and the third, but he's definitely going to lose to Cody. I don't know. I don't know, man.
So.
I'm not feeling that right now. I'm feeling very
and it's
John Cena.
And it's enough. It's enough that, we don't know. And that to me, we've talked about this in the past. That's the wrestling I love, man. I want to not know. I just don't want to know what's going. I don't want to be able to predict it. And if people like you and myself, and when you hang around and watch some of the shows sometimes with Donovan and Moth and guys like that, when people who have been in the business as long as collectively all of us have in our own ways, man, when we're kind of like, ooh, I don't know where this can go, that's good. When we're seeing a story even in the ring in a match and we're hooked on it, because dude, like we'll watch this. My kids will sometimes want to be like if I'll just be like, you can fast forward this part. And they're like, well, how do you know? And I don't want to like tell them I know because we're not at like the hope spot yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's I want to believe that, I want to get lost in it. And that's what they're doing with this. And I also, something else, there's rumor of intercontinental title, fatal 4-way type situation that does not include Sheamus. And I like that because I feel like everyone is somewhere along the lines. People are just like, oh man, Sheamus needs to get that. I love with Triple H and his booking style that they like tease it just a bit. And then they're like, okay, we're going to forget about that for like a year and a half. And then we'll bring it back. We're not going to give it to you like right now. And I love that because it adds more depth to the story and to the characters. But yeah, and think of it this way. What is one thing WWE loves to do? They love to sell merchandise and make money. And do you know what bringing back a spinner belt could do? Because your first thought is, but everybody already owns the spinner belt. Who would want a spinner belt?
Not this one.
Not with the new WWE logo. They all got the scratch logo. What about a brand new spinner belt?
That is a Ken doll. That's the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock. Which, by the way, I crack up every time I see the commercial. Every time. I think the Kurgan line really gets me. Like, that's Kurgan. Like,
it's Kurgan.
Like you're so excited that Kurgan is there. Anyway, nobody knows what the hell that means. Go tune into So Says Shernoff and you can see what it's all about. Great episode, by the way, this week.
Thank you.
Did you hear about as I break into a coughing fit here? I'm choking on my own little spit there. Hello. Anyway. Little nuance thing. Don't know if you caught it. CM Punk. Now
so you caught something.
I see it a little bit. CM Punk. I think he threw a little bit of a wrench in everything. I think he's starting to refer to this favor a little bit too much now. Everybody's still wondering, what's the favor? What's the favor? What's going on? What is it going to be? What I think it's going to be. Now, again, this is going to be it might be well received. It might be like, oh, we don't need that. I think the favor will be a stipulation added to the triple threat match. That the winner of that triple threat match on night 1 will be inserted into the Cody Cena main event and make that a triple threat as well.
Is that
too much?
Disagree. Here's why I disagree.
All right. So before you disagree, when you got a favor in the bag from a Paul Heyman who has all the power in the world, right? He can move mountains. If it's anything less than a title shot, is it really worth a favor?
So here's my feeling on it. He has a favor from Paul Heyman. He doesn't have a favor from The Rock, right? If it was The Rock, or if the favor was from Nick Aldis, or the favor was from Scrap Daddy, right? Now you're talking about, I'm getting inserted into the main event. I'm getting put into this match. I don't think in story Paul Heyman has that. Like, fine. What would you see? You would see Adam Pearce and Paul Heyman with Adam Pearce going, "Sorry, Paul," and Paul going, "You're gonna, like what is gonna happen?" So all that's right. Why I don't
killing the dream here. Well, okay.
I don't think. I also, this is another example. I love the fact that they made it seem like this year could be the year where CM Punk is finally going to main event WrestleMania, and he's not. which means next year, maybe he main events WrestleMania, or maybe it's 2 years from now. Like, who, you know what I mean? Like,
How
it
many more
doesn't,
years do you think this guy's got at top quality?
I don't know. How old is he? What is he, 65? But no, look, I don't know.
What
he's
else?
got a
I'm
few
just trying to
years left.
figure out, like, what else could be the favor. Now, I also saw like an AI generated thing last night that, you know, the internet's a wonderful place to be sometimes when it comes to pro wrestling and its predictions. I saw an AI image of CM Punk standing. I'm sorry, Seth Rollins standing over Punk and Roman, and Paul Heyman is now in the corner of Seth Rollins. Like, of
I
all
think
the things, like, come on.
I think that could happen. I think we dive deeper and deeper into Seth Rollins just being the kryptonite to Roman Reigns in that regard, because Seth Rollins turned on him in the Shield. Seth Rollins cashed in to win his first championship, ruining Roman Reigns' first WrestleMania main event and opportunity at the world title. Now you have him take his wise man. Like, there's so many things that could happen there. We're not even having a conversation about Roman Reigns getting involved with Cena, you know, and if something like that could happen. So, the favor, part of me is like, dude, they don't know what the favor is, and it's going to end up with, I did it for The Rock, but you know, but I feel like the favor, because CM Punk references it and Paul Heyman gets like, oh my God. And it's like, you know, not now. Like, why are you, don't do this now. It's definitely, the favor is something Roman is not going to like. Right. Like,
Makes
that's,
sense.
I mean, we pretty much established Roman will not be happy.
Type shit. Yeah.
Right. I don't think the favor is going to have anything to do with Seth Rollins, but I could see the screw your favor, you know, and I'm going with Seth Rollins type thing. I could see Seth Rollins. He needs something new at this point. He's been great. He's been, you know, I mean, you need a quality match. You throw Seth Rollins in there and you're going to get a top quality match. But from a story standpoint, I think he needs that bump. He needs
he does.
something new, and it could be Paul Heyman. Man, I don't know. I will say that's one that I really can't predict what that's going to be.
Yeah.
And how that's going to end. But again, like, we look at last year and just the last year's WrestleMania was so good, and on both nights and all. But if you look at like Drew beating Seth, and then like no one was even thinking about Damian Priest, and then it's like Drew's thing with Punk, and all, like, you can't just, sometimes, I guess my point is, it doesn't necessarily, when you're thinking these matches, you can't just be like, oh, so-and-so is going to win. Because what we've learned is that doesn't really matter. Like, if we were looking at Seth and Drew, like, your thought could have been, Seth will retain, or Drew's going to win. But it wasn't even in our minds of like, oh, and then CM Punk will be out there doing commentary, and then they're going to have their scuffle, and then the cash in. So, dude, I can't predict a lot of these things.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
when you can't,
I love
because
it.
that's what makes wrestling amazing. A couple other notes from Raw that we just watched this past Monday. We got a reunion of the Usos. I was very excited to see that. That was pretty cool. They're now starting to paint. They're now starting to paint Jey Uso as a significant underdog. And now, you know, he's got the brother in his face, almost like the Apollo Creed to the Rocky. Like, you can't win. Not this version of you. You need to step it up. You need to yeet more. You need to, you know, like, you need to do what won the Royal Rumble.
More.
I know.
Yeah.
Listen. You need to do more. You need to, like, what is it going to take? And then he did have a little bit of a verbal, I don't like calling the words botch, but he said he was 3-0 against Gunther, and I was like, what? Like, I think you meant 0-3. But what I will say is that, you know, you said it on So Say Shernoff as people are starting to turn on Jay a little bit. Like, he's not ready. Yeah, I told you guys he's not ready. I don't buy that for a second. I think you're going to get a very high quality match at WrestleMania between Gunther and Jey Uso. I really do think that was going to be one of the matches that you walk out of WrestleMania, whether you're there or you're watching on TV, where you're like, top that shit. Like, good luck.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I expect Jay to show up with his working boots on. Like, I think, and Gunther's just,
stud.
Incredible. So I think I expect that to be, I think Jay is going to have a caved in chest by win, lose, or draw by the end of that night. But I'm looking forward to that match as well. I do want to say, we were talking about, botches and promos or something like that. I do want to say one thing that Charlotte and Tiffany.
Didn't see it.
Tiffany Stratton, they had a promo back and forth, like one of those, like the two boxes like we've got going on here, like one of those types of things. And Charlotte owned her.
As she
Tiffany
should.
Stratton, no, but Tiffany Stratton legit, but I'm not talking about like in character. Legit just could not, like, every time like Charlotte would cut her off and say something, and Tiffany Stratton was so, like, just seemed so flustered, and then she would just go back and repeat what she said before. Like, she had her lines in her mind of what to say, and it was not good. I will say, while Bubba Ray went on Busted Open and gave his opinion of, like, that this is not that she should, by now, Tiffany Stratton should be good enough by now. It's Bubba, what the fuck? Like, what are you even talking about? She's so new to the business. She doesn't have the reps that, I mean, it's such an asinine statement. Like, and no disrespect, or all the disrespect, I don't give a shit. But, like, it's such an asinine statement to think that a 25-year-old Tiffany Stratton, who has been in WWE for a cup of coffee, should be able to handle those types of promos with somebody like Charlotte Flair. Bubba's always been a great talker. Bubba was always able to do that. Not everyone can be. And that in no way, shape, or form dictates the type of career she's going to have. He was just WWE should, like, cut bait at this point.
No, I look, and I love Bully. I think he's a great dude, great host, great trainer, great all that stuff, right? But do we remember the first promos when they gave Roman Reigns a microphone for the first time? Like,
exactly.
Oh, by the way, he might be okay at talking on the mic now, just a little bit.
And that's the thing. Right? And that's where I'm looking. That's a
guys evolve, girls evolve.
That's a perfect example, because so for Bubba Ray to
same thing with Damian Priest. Damian Priest used to stink on the mic, and all of a sudden now
but honestly, I think Roman is a tremendous example, better than really anyone else, because Roman now is arguably one of the best on the mic, and was arguably, while world champion, one of the worst.
Right.
So I think it's a perfect example. And I just think Bubba, like, the idea that he's trying to put out into the universe there, that Tiffany Stratton is not like this is just, nope, that's it. Pack in her career, guys, cut bait, because she just couldn't handle it in one promo.
Yeah, no, I don't agree. I don't agree.
Yeah, I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, and as we said in the beginning of this show, today is a little bit of an abbreviated wrestling hour, more like a wrestling 40 minutes, because there are other business details, and we were working out a bunch of kinks and stuff like that. So thank you all, obviously.
Fill the rest of your hour with So Says Shernoff,
which runs about 20 minutes.
Channel.
Which runs about 20 minutes this week.
There
so it actually works out.
Go watch it.
Go check that out. Go check out all of the things that we have to offer. TV. Come hang out with us on Tuesdays. If you don't want to do that, we get it. We'll see you back here on Wednesday of next week with another episode. No, we do. For Dave Sturchio, Josh Shernoff, it's been another episode of the Wrestling Hour. We'll see you guys next time.